Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My channel is focused on ways to generate streams of income. If you're interested in finding out different ways that I'm generating streams of income, consider subscribing, clicking the little bell, and following my channel. When I hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway, and you got to be a subscriber of the channel in order to be part of the giveaway. So be sure to like the channel if it's stuff that you like to hear anyway. You could be part of the giveaway when I hit the 2,000 subscriber mark. There's going to be other giveaways after that, but that's the next milestone that I want to hit for the channel. And then as the channel grows, and if the channel starts generating cash for me, I'm going to be giving that back to the community that's following my channel. So I'm going to use the income that this channel, if it generates, to give a percentage back to you guys over the longer term. So the faster this channel grows, the faster it generates money. We'll be taking a percentage of that money to give back to you guys. So be sure to subscribe and like and follow me if it's content that you're interested in. In addition to that, look in the video description for timestamps for different parts of the video in case you can't watch it all. Look in the video description for a list of other opportunities I'm involved in, and also at the bottom you'll see a list of videos that are associated with the content that I'm sharing in this video. So if you're interested in watching more of the videos, there's a list that in the video description where you can click and watch the other videos. So with that being said, let's get into the content. So just to summarize real quick, in case you want to jump ahead to other areas. The four cryptos are going to be VeChain, Voyager, AAVE, and The Graph. So look in the video description for the different timestamps for each crypto. And if you can't watch everything, you could jump ahead or jump back and forth and watch the individual sections for that crypto. All right, so VeChain, I basically did a video yesterday and I showed that, it's still following this channel. You got a couple wicks up. Now we actually touched the 236 algo target and also the pattern target that we had here. So I'm going to get rid of that. Now we got to figure out in the future what the next steps are. And there might be a little bit of a correction that's going to occur here to kind of, nothing goes straight up. So just want to take a step back, step out, and see what the bigger picture looks like here. So I guess, let's see here. I guess the first thing for us to do is just get rid of all this because all the targets were hit. So let's just clean up this chart. Let's get rid of everything. Let's get rid of these patterns. Let's get rid of just everything just to keep it simple. Simple is sometimes better than complicated until you see what the big picture looks like. And then you could drive down and figure out the lower time frame stuff. So, all right, so we're at the weekly here. Now you could obviously see that we left we were in a 1, 2, a 0, 1, 2. Now we're going into 3 in terms of Elliott wave. So let's just throw that on here real quick to just kind of get a snapshot of the big picture again. We got to figure out where that's going to go, and typically you have to stay above there, so we know 4 has to be above there somewhere. Now you want to do a 1-to-1 on this wave. 2 to 3 has to be equal to or greater than this wave. So there's a couple ways you could do that. You could just use a typical trend line, grab the bottom, grab the top, and then just move it over. We're on log scale, so it's going to look awkward. So you could see actually within here, yeah, so we might have, okay, let's see something here. Yeah, no, that can't be it. This is just a 1 2 1 2 1. So maybe this is the second leg. Now we got to figure out, again, just for purposes of Elliott wave, wave 4 can't go below wave 1's peak. So that has to be at least there. Now we could do the log again to make it a little easier to see here. So the next thing we got to figure out is where could 5 be. And to do that, you do a fib extension of the overall run from 0 to 3. And then the anticipated. Okay, so two things. Let's take the fib retrace from here to here. And let's see what that was. Alright, I'm going to pause this so you don't have to... Alright, sorry about that. Never fails. No phone calls until I try to do a video. But, alright, so you can see from wave 1 to 2, it was a retrace of 65. So that was a deep retrace. So typically, if this was the first wave is a deep retrace, the second one should be a shallow. So let's, a shallow meaning like, a 382 or something along those lines. So let's see where we are here. Put this up here and figure out where a 382 would be somewhere over here. So temporarily, until we see what the price action is, a 382 would be where you would think it would go. Now that doesn't mean that, so to be an Elliott wave to be okay, it just has to stay above the 1. So it could go as low as 786, but typically, maybe another 618 if it's a low. So if this isn't a strong trending, market, you could see it retrace more. But if it's a strong trend and alt season starts, then it's probably going to be a shallow one. So let's just let's put this over here at 618 or 65. See if it repeats the fractal that it did down here. And then what we do next to find the level of 5, where 5 can go, we take the fib retrace of 0 to 3 and down to 4. So let's take a fib extension. So we take from here up to 3, down to 4. And again, this is on a log scale, so it's going to be it's funky to see. Let's take it off log because it'll make more sense. Right, let me bring this down from the craziness. Alright, so again, as we have always talked about, somewhere between somewhere up in the 618 extension would be where 5 would be. So that puts it at about a 20 cents VeChain, pretty much, is where the target of this Elliott wave pattern is taking us. What you can also do, since this is really the only major pivot that we have in here, we have this one that would be pointing downward, but then this one, we could throw a pitchfork on here. Go from this low, go up to here, go here. Kind of see where this might be headed. What you want to do is kind of tweak this in where it's touching as much as possible. So you can see this pitchfork is doing pretty good. Now this is pretty steep. If the retraces are happening, this is kind of suggesting that it'd have to come down pretty hard. And if we're going to stick to the 2, and this is just a roadmap. This doesn't mean it's going to happen this way, but if it's going to stay within this pivot of this this pitchfork. I mean, reality is it could be more like this, and maybe right now we only have one touch. You know, that could be more of a reality. And if you really wanted to, you can add the extra outside ones to give some more room. So maybe it's more something like that. And again, you know, then with that you can bring this over a little bit more. Bring this over a little bit more. So let's see how price action plays out. But you could see that we're at some point, if this is gonna, you know, it's gonna come back a little bit. It's not gonna continue going straight up like this. So right here, you should be waiting to execute on a trade. You know, if you want to consider a retrace area to get in, you could take, you know, this area of this retrace right here and just kind of paint the box of somewhere between the 0.5 and the 0.68 would be a good time to get into a trade. So if we just use that as a temporary guide, you know, area for DCA entry. So, you know, sit back and wait. Don't chase this any higher because it's in discovery mode right now where you don't know when it's going to turn. So wait for it to turn, wait for it to pull back a little bit, wait for it to find support. It looks like there's some good support right here at the 0.5. There's some support here at a 0.65. So somewhere in this area is where, if it were me, this is where I would be looking to get in. So, you know, with that being said, that's the target. You know, if you enter there, then, you know, of course, this is the first exit. Then got the oligo target exit. And finally, you got the extension range up to 0.618. And also the target, you know, the target for 5. So somewhere up in this range is where you should be, you know, scaling out. So scale out here, and scale out here. Move up your stop losses along the way. But let's wait to see what happens here for an entry. Let's see what price action does. Let's see if this actually holds and it starts retreating into a, you know, to an ABC or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, and go from there. So this is what I see for VeChain. So again, overall target, you know, as it hits wave 5 of this Elliott wave pattern, which would be wave 1 of a bigger pattern. You know, you're looking at a 23 cent, 24, maybe even 25 cents VeChain. And currently we're at 9 cents. So that's like a 200%, 200 and something percent move that we can be anticipating, and even better if we wait for it to come down here. If we get in at 5 cents or so, then you're looking at a 5x on this trade. So, you know, just consider being patient and wait for a good trade entry. If I see anything on the lower time frames that makes sense in terms of patterns, I'll show them to you. Right now I don't see anything. Again, it's just kind of up. You know, you could drive down lower and lower to see if there's any patterns that arrive, but you can just see it's just kind of like waving higher and higher. You know, even if you get down to these lower levels, it's just kind of like consolidating push. Nothing that shows any kind of obvious pattern here to trade off of. So let's just leave it on the daily here. Let's see what happens. All right, let's see what happens. Let's move on to the next one. Voyager. All right, let's see what we got here. Still staying within this pattern You got this pennant, this channel. Again, this is the area of concern of a possible move that's going to happen, because it's going to be a decision to either go up or go down on these pitchforks. So you can see it's staying within the downward facing one, but it's also still within the upward facing one. So it could start migrating higher. So again, you're in the window for dollar cost averaging into a trade. This is where I would be taking a trade if it was me. And let's see what happens this is a daily chart. So, we could drop down a little lower here, but we're not going to see much else other than the fact that, it's riding this lower pivot of this pitchfork. So there's nothing new to be said about Voyager, other than, there's going to be a point of action happening here soon. In this time frame right here. These two crosses of the pitchforks. So let's see what happens. Again, you're in the window of DCAing between 0.5 and 0.65. So if you're a bull and you're looking to take a trade, this is where you should be averaging into a position. And let's see what happens. And then finally, AAVE. Same kind of thing. We're approaching this point of cross between the downward facing pitchfork and the upward facing one. So this is going to be an area of interest to continue to watch. So let's, it's still within the overall downward triangle here. It's following this pitchfork higher, hasn't broken through. So, we may see a breakout of this pattern, this triangle pattern, along with it following the upward going pitchfork. So somewhere over here might be where we see some trade opportunities. You're just about touching the 0.5. You're kind of in the range. And pretty quickly, if you don't take action, you're probably going to miss the trade. And don't chase it if you miss it. There'll always be another one. So again, but this 0.5 to 0.65 is usually the range where I DCA entry. This is where I kind of look in, try to get involved with buying a position into a trade and then, scaling out as it moves. So let's see what happens. This is on daily chart, so you got another week before critical stuff is happening. So that ends up turning out to be close to the end of the month. And there's other things happening in the market. There's, I believe there's Bitcoin futures that are expiring this month. So it should get kind of interesting over the next couple days to a week. All right, so that's really all for AAVE. We're still kind of waiting, just like we're waiting for the other one. And then finally, the graph. So it kind of broke out a little bit here, but again, this was a pitchfork we threw on, so we might have to tweak it a little bit to see if it stays in here now. Now we're entering the DCA areas in here as well. It's in this pennant formation. It's staying in this channel, so it's dipping into the area where it makes sense to possibly get in, build a position for a trade. I don't know how much lower it's going to go, because, well, it could. It may not. It just may not stay within this pitchfork. This pitchfork might not be a valid pitchfork, and that's okay. That happens. If it stays in this channel, we just got to wait. And down here is where the 618 and the 65 is where we might start seeing the push higher. So, we could always extend these down. As long as it's following that channel down, we might see price come down to 1.3 before it goes up. So what you're waiting for is the breakout of the pattern on any of these. You're waiting for the breakout. So again, don't do any trades. Maybe when it gets down in this area a little bit more, maybe this is time for you to build a position. Make sure when the breakout happens, you move your stop loss to break even. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. This was just me explaining the stop loss and you guaranteeing yourself some profits. So let's get rid of that. Kind of told you that many times already. Just in case this is your first video you're watching, you know, risk management is very important. So make sure you don't get greedy, don't leave things open-ended. And you're waiting for the breakout. So dollar cost average into a position as this trend line pushes to this 65 down here is going to be where, you know, a decision is going to be made. This pitchfork may or may not be reality. We're just putting the pitchfork on what's here in front of us. As price develops further, we have to tweak this in real time, either move it down, move it up. Maybe there's a new pivot that we got to bring it down to here. You know, things, you know, the price action will show you what's going on, and you just have to modify your approach and your analysis to kind of show what's going on, and then wait for the proper reasons to get into a trade or not get into a trade. So that's what we're doing here. I'm not anticipating it going up or down. All I'm doing is showing you a pattern, showing you maybe if it breaks this line on the upward going area, you know, that's maybe when you should enter a trade. If it breaks down, that's also an area that you might want to get into a trade. But when you're in the middle of a pattern and there's nothing else really going on and it's just going sideways, that's not the time to get into a trade. So you got to start seeing price movement, wait for the breakout with volume, then you'll know it's a confirmation that it's actually breaking out of this pattern. So that's it for the set of cryptos that we have here. So we kind of reset some of these charts. We kind of set up the new traps. You're waiting for things to happen. You're waiting for breakouts to happen before you enter trades. Follow the proper risk management. As price movement moves up, move your stop losses to break even as soon as possible, where you guarantee yourself no losses, and the higher it goes, start moving up your stop loss so you're guaranteeing yourself some profits. So that's it for this set of charts. I'll be putting out another video in a bit here for another set of charts, and we'll continue to come back to these and review them and update them in somewhat real time to what the latest price action is showing us. All right, guys, take care. Consider subscribing to my channel. Click the little bell. Look in the video description. Remember, once I hit 2,000 subscribers, there's going to be a giveaway. And then after we hit the 2,000, then we'll make another goal for the next level. And we'll continue to do giveaways, giving back to the channel, giving back to the subscribers. And if and when YouTube decides to monetize my channel and I get paid for running this, again, I commit to giving a portion of that money back to you guys as giveaways, promotions, contests, whatever you want to call it. But you know, if YouTube is paying and I'm getting money, there's no reason not to give it back to you guys as a thank you for following my channel. And again, consider subscribing and leaving a comment. Let me know what you want me to talk about. So look in the video description. There's some high level ideas of things I could talk about, but if there's something specific that you're interested in and I don't have it there, please leave a comment. If I have enough people looking for that and I have enough interest, I'll go out of my way to figure it out if I don't know it and share what I've learned. So again, this is your channel. I'm looking to do this to share with you guys and create a nice community here. I'm not into the hype. I'm not going to be doing paid promotions on coins, anything like that. But if YouTube pays me for views and pays me for a subscriber base and that kind of stuff, then that's a different story. But I'm not going to specifically take payments for coins to, you know, share them or stuff like that. Advertising, paid advertising. I'm not going to go and talk about a coin for money. So I'm not going to do that. But but if, like I said, if YouTube wants to pay me for monetizing my channel and the views that I get and the subscriber base, then again, that money will be used to give back, you know, a certain percentage back to you guys. And the more it grows, the more money there'll be to give out. So share this, like this, and subscribe. Take care.